Hey Leo, it's me again. I'm recording like a bunch of these in a row because I've been putting them off and for months. I feel like now I'm on a roll, so I gotta keep doing it. 5:52 a.m. September 11th, 2021, and this is a product demo, a showcase of Cashtrack, which is another application within the Jack Kim internal software suite of productivity apps that I've created for myself, and this one in particular, as the name suggests, tracks cash, and is used for my. It says that it's basically my accounting software and um, money management analysis tool. So here's what it looks like. Actually, let me give you like the background of why I came about making this. As you know, there's a bunch of like finance tracking apps like Mint and Truebill and all these other things. I've actually used them, and they hook onto your bank account, and then like you can categorize and everything like that. But first of all, the big problem was real-time tracking. Secondly, it was about data categorization and tagging. So number one, um, the timing. Like if I spend my credit card somewhere at a store, I want to be able to instantly get a notification. And then I want, because it's in my mind, I want to be able to like name it, tag it immediately. And with current existing solutions, they have a syncing delay of like several hours or even a couple days. And so like yeah, I can like organize all those spending habits or spending transactions, but I'd have to like think back at like what I was doing at the time, and like it's just almost impossible if there's a lot of transactions. So that's number one. That's being solved here though. I developed some sort of system to allow that. It's kind of a hack. What's happening is I use a service called Plaid to sync transactions, but that itself has a delay of several hours. So what I managed to do is I set up like email alerts, and those emails send to my Gmail, but then I have a filter set up on my Gmail to send to a specific webhook address on my server, which then parses that email and extracts data like the cost, the merchant, the name of the transaction, and all that, and then instantly creates the transaction object. So and then it sends me a notification right away to my phone to get the alert, or to track it right away and tag it right away. So number two, advanced tagging. So I'm like very organized when it comes to like organizing notes and transactions and everything like that. And I go by a system of tags. So instead of like other apps let me organize it into specific categories, but like there can only be one category per transaction, and like I wanted to be able to add multiple tags. And so the reason for this is like at the end of the month or at the end of the day or week or whatever, I want to be able to specifically know how much money I spent on specific projects. So those tags could be per project, or they could be per like a specific category like food or something. And honestly, it's kind of funny because it doesn't really help me adjust my spending habit. It just is nice knowing like what I'm spending money on. And yeah, I mean, there's a practical aspect to it, but I think part of it is I just wanted to build it. So I built it. Um, yeah, so let me show this. This is the UI for it. And this is the main screen. So breakdown of these are the different accounts that I've linked up. I can filter by time frame, like the day, week, month, year, all these categories, and these are the different tags that I can change. And this is a transaction object, so this would be the actual charge name on the card. This would be the exact time frame, the account, and this is for the tags. And it also tracks deposits as well as spending. This is the transaction detail. So here I can see the exact charge. I can edit the nickname to because usually like transaction names are like really weird and like not really readable. So this helps me actually make sense of what the transaction was. I can also add notes to it, which becomes searchable. And this is the neat feature that I developed where I kind of like find similar transactions that have a similar name or a same vendor, and that helps me track like previous spending history. And I can filter that by the day, week, year. This is a tag specific category, or tag detail, I guess. And this matching phrase section is pretty neat. So This allows me to add specific phrases that automatically it would check for on every new transaction. And if it determines that or if it matches any of these filters that I set up, then it would automatically tag it. So that's the third feature, I guess, that the other products don't have, is the ability to create custom filters that do the work for me. So if it includes Starbucks or something, or Coffee Bean, it would immediately tag it as cafe and then rename it. And this is another cool feature, calendar, similar to the other thing was to like forgetting because I'm so tired right now. System, it's all based on this calendar, right? So I reused some of that code, and now there's a calendar for spending. And this is also different tags. I'll show that later. I can also add a manual transaction. So this is more for business accounts that I have, where it takes a few days to propagate. And then these are called pre-flight transactions, and they get saved into the database. And so when a new transaction happens or is detected, it tries to look for pre-flights. And if it matches any of them, then it would override it. And then I could also see a list of unmatched transactions, so I can resolve it manually. Also, there's a way to track it manually, like location-wise. So the way that works is this is the notification. Again, I use an Android app. I use an Android phone so that I can do things like this. So this is a interactive notification that would show up as soon as I spend money. And I can tag it immediately without even opening the app with quick actions here. And then I can also rename, or I can add a note from within the notification itself. So this is typically used for like WhatsApp or different messaging applications, but I can use the same Android API to make this happen. And when this happens, I can, or when I open the notification right away, it logs the location, like GPS, and then that saves it to the transaction. So for in-store transactions, as long as I open the notification when I get it, it actually will log. Like I can see where all the transactions happened. Not possible for online, but for store, I can do that. So yeah, this is currently working. It's not really wrapped into an app right now. It's a web app right now, but let me see. Okay, there it is. All right, so this is the application, and this is across all my accounts. This month I've managed to spend $251 so far, and I'm not gonna go too much because this is private information, I guess, and I'm uploading this. But yeah, like this is something that I spent today. So it's a kochi place, like pocha. I guess I spent $2 on it before, so this is like the similar transactions. And see how like onagi, I don't know, oangi, kochi? It's kind of hard to like remember, or it's kind of hard to know what that is. So in this case, I can edit it as a nickname. So like, I'll just say like, it also is takochi. I save it. I can add it as a tag. In this case, it's food. And then that's it. It saves immediately. And I can filter by different tags here. So like this helps me see exactly how how much I've been drinking, whatnot, dating, food, convenience store. I've been spending a lot of money on some convenience stores. But yeah, this is what I have. Oh yeah, the calendar lets me see how much I've been spending. This is kind of inverted. I need to change this, but yeah, the more I spend, it should be higher, but it's kind of inverted right now. And I can also see by a different tag, similar to how system works. This part is kind of in development right now, so it's a little messed up, but yeah. And this is the way to add the manual transaction here, a pre-flight. And I can also add a new tag. So if I go all the way down here, new tag, oops. New tag. I can give it a name, I can give it an icon, I can give it a color. So I think that's about it. I've been using this quite extensively, and I'm sure it'll be helpful for exporting accounting for tax and whatnot. I'm not very good at it, but previously I never even tracked any of my spending. Honestly, like I was pretty shitty at doing all this stuff, but lately I've been trying to fix that. I'm so tired right now. um, oh yeah, and then this will integrate into systems. The system is kind of the operating system for myself, and so everything that I do with LightNote, with Cashtrack, with all these other things, will plug into systems so that I don't have to open all these different apps. It becomes like a super app in a sense, and everything is categorized by day. And even like Leo is going to be hooked into that. So all the footage that I take and all the notes that I take will show up in the system.